welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team is currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 hit games 2CD collection. You can find a link in the video description listing the entire directory structure of this archive. Here's what our diggers have for week 288. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. First up, Matthew Belshin has dug up DOSGAMES /arcade2/Jfish12. I mean, it could be a game about Jellyfish or something. We don't have much to go on here. We've got a catalog and an executable. And the catalog is also an executable. Catalog. Martin's Software Productions. Okay, so apparently this person's also done a letter attack, flight logger. Wait, flight logger? Okay, so the flight logger thing is like for people who use model rocket kits and stuff, and also requires as opposed to requires. That's an interesting typo. List maker, font editor, and then more curious than any of that is the fact that this program that we're about to use doesn't seem to be in this list. And also that the person's offering source code for everything, which is apparently done in Quick Basic for $120 as opposed to these more normal registration fees, which I guess makes sense to some degree, but that is a lot for Quick Basic source code. I guess we're just going to try running it. It was Jellyfish, right? So Jellyfish version 1.2 by Eldon Martin. Okay, so instructions, keyboard commands. Use J and L cursor keys to move. Okay, that's a little weird. Wait, that's it? It's the only two keys? Objects. Catch bubbles and gold pieces for points. Dodge seaweed and monsters to stay alive. Okay, it sounds simple enough. K for keyboard. Enter starting speed. Just in case it goes stupid fast, we're going to do a starting speed of 1. Okay then. So yeah, it's basically just dodge everything. So I'm not sure exactly what the end goal here is, like if this has an end or if this just keeps going on forever. At least the randomization isn't completely messing me up yet, because I know something that happens with some of these games is that sometimes you'll have patterns which are just impossible to dodge. Okay, that I should have been able to make. Okay, and it doesn't have proper keystroke detection. Like it's using... Whoa, what just happened there? That was almost like I hit like one of those gold coins, but I didn't see it? That was weird. But yeah, so it doesn't have any extra keyboard handling outside of Quick Basic's usual handling. So if you hold keys down, it starts buffering the keystrokes after a moment. So you gotta push the key... Oh, I see. It's like level up or something. So it's going faster each time I'm getting to certain point thresholds. I see. Okay, I'm up to level 4, I think. Well, I say level 4, but I'm getting like 16 points per bubble now, which is kind of a lot. Let's see how far we can take this, at least with the way the speed is going. Okay, now it's going a lot faster, but also a lot less consistent. Okay, that was weird. Oh, I guess play again. So enter starting speed, start at 1 again. So yeah, this is a very simple game when it comes down to it, but one thing that's good is that it seems to be procedurally generating the seaweed spaced apart from itself, like in such a way that it can never be right next to each other. So that's good, because that means that you're never gonna be completely screwed. There's always gonna be a way to survive a situation. If you see it as long as you see it coming anyways. Actually, the fact that this is in Quick Basic and that the author had joystick support advertised on the startup there, it almost seems like a better approach as opposed to using the J and L keys would have been to use like the control or the shift keys. because Quick Basic makes it possible to detect the states of those, of like the modifier keys, but on a, like, in the moment. So they're not buffered, which means you can actually use them in Quick Basic without any extra code or anything special to detect, like, holding down keys. So I'm kind of surprised the author didn't do that. Okay, we're getting up to the fast speeds again. Although once it goes up to the next level, it's going to be inconsistent again, I imagine. And then, oh, just going to have to see if we can survive that. Because yeah, like, it speeds up at random now. Okay, it's not at random. There seems to be a pattern to the speed up, which means that there's something wrong with the math being used to determine how fast it should be going. So that was Jellyfish, a very simple, quick basic game that apparently maybe has a... Wait a minute, did it have a... Oh yeah, it has an $8, Oh wait, that's a source code thing. Well, no, hang on a second here. Okay, didn't the catalog file say that you could get the source code for all the software for 120? But if there was only 4 software programs in there, and this one here is supposed to be just $8 for the source code, then what exactly is 120 getting you if this is the general value of the software he's selling? I am confused. Anyways, that was Jellyfish. It's a very simple game that has some speed inconsistencies, but then it was written in Quick Basic, so what do you expect? Next up from Richard Ward, we've got WINGAMES /GG/quad. I'm gonna guess a puzzle game of some kind? Not entirely certain with this one. Where is it? Quad. Okay, so we got a readme.bat file. Why is that in a batch file? Okay then. Unfortunately, this isn't Windows 95 or later, so I can't just right-click and like select Open With in order to view the contents. So what's the fastest way I can do that? I think the fastest way to see the contents of this file would be, I think go rename. We'll rename it to readme.txt, and then I can just go like this. So types quad.txt with the more command. Is this even a Windows program? You could just go like this. Yeah, it says right here, 1 and 2 player game for Windows 3.x. So I don't understand why they're using the DOS command parser to type out the README when you could just use Notepad, which is in literally every version of Windows. Although this might be the first time we've seen a program written by someone in Iceland. That's definitely not a common place to find software from. And apparently this person wanted 15 US dollars, and I have no idea how to pronounce their first name, so I'm not even gonna try. This is worded very oddly. Why register? This is your gain, and you get all these gains like feeling great and wonderful and splendid, and this is your loss, $15. This is a very unusual way of wording a transaction. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this readme.txt back into a readme.bat because I only did that so I could open it. And I mean, I guess there's the help file here too as well. And this has what looks to be the same details. Yep, even has the same this is your gain, this is your loss. So I guess I'll just run it. So quad, copyright 93, program is shareware, unregistered. Okay. So yeah, from what I got from the instructions, this is basically Connect 4. And I'm going to guess it's going to maximize. Yep. Just the way the lines were drawing and the size of the window, just had a feeling it was going to maximize. Although we can make it really tiny too. What's the smallest we can... Wait, what? Wait, give me that message back. Okay, so if you shrink it small enough, you thought That's not spelled right. You thought the window could be this small? I don't think so. Easter eggs and ridiculously unheard of software. Gotta love it. Okay, so we can do human versus computer or human versus human. We can make the computer stupid, dubious, clever, or ingenious. And we can either take the first move ourselves or have the computer take the first move. Okay then. So I think I'm going to put the computer onto clever. I don't think ingenious would be good for anyone's health. And new game. So I'm going to start here. Okay, so I'm guessing I'm red. And that also went really fast. I think there might supposed to be a dropping animation, but we're not seeing it because, yeah, things are going really quickly. Okay, so if the computer moved there, I'm going to move there. And then I'm going to move there. And the computer thinks he's being clever, but I'm going to move there. Let's see, next move. I think my next move should be here. And then obviously there. And then what should my next move be? Because I don't have any chance of winning with pieces on this side, but the thing is that if I move over here, I'm giving the computer an advantage. So I kind of want to try to force them to put a piece over there, and I think I can get away with that. Or maybe it's just not going to be necessary because I just made 4 diagonally. The computer didn't have to go there. So I guess clever wasn't really super clever. Well, I guess try again. This time I'm going to start way at the edge, see how the computer likes that. Okay, well so far this is going decently. Not swimmingly, but decently. And let's try going here. Block the computer from going up further there. This didn't seem like as smart a move as it looked. Not sure what the computer's endgame is with that one, but let's do there. And then there, and then there. I know what the computer's doing, but... So yeah, so now the computer wasn't able to get the 4 like that, as computer wanted. So I think this is going to end up being a tie game. Maybe. So yeah, if I put a piece here, then the computer's going to get 4 in a row. If I put a piece here, then my only winning move is blocked. But then I also block their winning move here. And then... You know what? I think I still lose. But, well, let's see. So, like that, like that, like that. And, yeah, game's a tie. You know, the funny thing is playing Connect 4 type games, I rarely get to a tie game state. Usually someone makes a mistake, and this is one of those few times where we get to see a fully tied board. So that was Quad, a basic Connect 4 type game. It plays perfectly fine. So yeah, I guess if you want this particular kind of game, then, I mean, $15 is a little high, like not super high for something like this. But then how can you go wrong with a Easter egg like this one? But at least it does support different window sizes. There's more that could be said for a lot of games. And our last take for today from JP Ronnie is DOSGAMES /sports/SB41. I'm going to guess this has to do with Softball, but one of the things we've noticed with this sports folder in this particular CD here is that half the time these programs are just like team management programs and stuff and don't actually qualify as games, but we'll see with this one. So we got a lot of DAT files. That's not a good sign. You got the main executable. We got a very lengthy README, also not a good sign. Invoice.doc, file ID.dis. Okay, what have we got here? Type file ID.dis. Softballs, as opposed to softballs. Okay. Softball, baseball, record keeping system for up to 100 teams. Yeah. And apparently $29 to track these records. Like, this is what I was getting at here. This sports folder on this CD is like half management programs and half actual games. And like, it's not even like it's like game type management programs like Football Manager, which was popular game series, but it's about managing football teams as opposed to actually playing the games. But the thing is, it's still technically a game, whereas these are just management software for teams and stuff. Well, I guess we can try going into the README there. It's probably going to be nothing that's going to make much sense to us, but at least we'll get some like details and stuff. So apparently this is made by a Jeff Elwood, which I don't know why that name sounds familiar. Maybe we've seen other software from this person in terms of like tracking stuff and everything. Could be wrong. But yeah, this is just information on how to use the program and set up statistics and everything. So also there's a huge section at the end, which is a version log. Wow, that's a big version log. Okay then. And then there's also that invoice, or was it doc? Hang on. Invoice.doc, there it is. So registration form, $29, $5 extra if you're international, and nothing else, it's just the form. Okay, so let's check out the program, see how it works here. So any key to continue. So yeah, we got our main menu. We can set our colors. So that's always nice when a program actually lets you set up your own custom color settings. Change error sound. Oh, well, now that's interesting. I've heard of customizing these kinds of programs like for different colors and stuff, but apparently there's like 3 different sound effects you can have it play as the error sound. So when you make a mistake, so there's and finally. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so save changes, might as well. So we've got a help system in here, which is what? This screen looks like it should scroll, and yet it doesn't, despite the fact that half of it is simply about registering the program. Okay then. Okay, so I guess we can go to standings just to see if there's anything in here already. Okay, so it looks like this thing can keep track of 100 teams in total. And apparently 2 teams have already been entered here. But wasn't this for softball? These look like actual hardball teams. Like actual baseball. I mean, it's almost the same game, so I guess you could technically mix and match. Like, you could put hardball stuff into softball stuff and vice versa. Like, I mean, I don't know what the actual logistical difference is between the two, other than the fact that the ball's different. But, okay, so if we select one of these teams... Oh, we gotta select at least 2 teams. Okay, so we'll select... What the heck? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, that's hilarious. So even though this should be just a simple management program that handles just a bunch of data and shows the data on screen and stuff, I managed to crash it. Nothing works. Give me a moment. Okay, we're back in here. I had to restart DOSBox and everything. So let's try this again. So we'll go into the standings. Now, before I can actually process this, I have to make sure to select the team. So spacebar to select, enter to process. Okay, so game range, I guess 1 to 99. Do all game types, why not? Now I'll just leave it here. So compute statistics. So F1. So I guess based on whatever statistics were entered into here, this would have been 4 wins for the Twins, 4 losses for the Braves, and percentages, runs fielded. I think that's what RF stands for. RA, yeah, I don't know baseball stats extremely well. I guess there's also other features in here. So we got the inquire feature, so spacebar to change Or, okay, so now we just use enter to select. Okay, so inquire menu. So record. So apparently we've got one record in here for World Series. Apparently there's a compute button, which, okay, that just does more of that stuff. We got a games thing. Okay, so it seems like whoever was editing the data for this before it ended up on whatever BBS this was gleaned from or something, because I seriously doubt the Softkey people did this. Apparently someone made an effort to actually put some stuff in here. I have no idea how accurate any of it is, but it seems like an effort was made. And then if we go into batting, okay, it actually has the players listed in here too. So yeah, someone definitely made an effort to put at least a little bit of information in here. Like, I mean, it wasn't softball information, but still. So that was softball. Program for tracking softball stats, or I guess it works for proper baseball as well, or hardball, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, like, I mean, it's kind of tough to really say much about this kind of software. Like, it's very niche in terms of what it does. Like, there's not a lot of people who would want it, but at the same time, that kind of justifies charging a higher amount for it. So for $29, I guess if you really wanted to track team stats, especially if this is something like, if you were actually doing like a Little League thing or something, then yeah, that would probably be very useful. But for the average person, there's no point.